Hey Candace and John. Okay, so this project, the goal is to build the content for the PMP Chapter 6 into the LMS. And since I have the textbook, I had to actually pull the content from the PowerPoints and put it in the correct order because some of his, there's actual sections that are aligned with the book that the students need to know what they are, and sometimes he only puts this part and doesn't put the number, so it makes it really confusing to the student. So I've gone back in, I've just pulled the text real quick and I've put headings on it, and I've actually labeled the pieces and parts, and you'll see what those labels mean in just a second. I'm going to give 6.1 as an example. This document is actually the only thing that you need because it has links to the front end in it. So it should be relatively easy and relatively quick. So let me give you a quick tutorial using 6.1 as an example. So first I'm going to click this and open it in a new tab. It's going to open in a new tab automatically. And as long as you're logged in to our WordPress, it should just pop you up right here. And if not, let me know. You are in Chapter 6, and you'll notice that there are 6 main lessons, including a 6.0, so it'll feel like 7. And the reason that I had to put this here instead of in the introduction here is because there's critical issues for this as well, and there will be quiz questions. So it's not really an introduction to the whole thing. It's more of a piece on its own. We'll go over that in a second. So once you get in here, you'll find that there's already a template set up for you. He has not yet given us the critical issues with the learning objectives and terms for 6. He's only done it for 4, so that will be a separate job. For now, just skip on down to this content piece, and you'll see that I put some instructions in here. That all you need to do is go to the section that's labeled Section Intro, and you'll want to hover over this, click the little pencil, and make sure, I'm going to move this over so you can see it better. Make sure, there's 2 ways you can do it. You can either highlight this and then do Command-Shift-V for a Mac, which pastes the content in without formatting. If you don't want to do that, because it's too much trouble, you can just go to the Text tab. And in that case, you'll want to make sure that you have the entire thing highlighted, and then you can just paste the text directly in. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to click over to my document. I'm going to find the content that's labeled Section Intro, and I'm going to copy it. I'm going to come back over to the page and I'm going to paste it. I'm going to save my changes, and you can look at it in the visual if you want. And for this, it kind of looks funny to have that no space between these 2 paragraphs. So I'll just make a brief edit, and I don't know, I probably just want to pull that up so it's 1 paragraph. And I'm going to save my changes. And then I'm going to X this. And the most important thing is you saved your changes here, but you have not saved your changes to the course. So every single time you save a change here, come up here and click Update. Every single time. Otherwise, if you happen to get logged out because it's been sitting for a while, or if you happen to X out of here before saving that, then everything you just did will get deleted. So that is the most important thing. I hope that doesn't happen to you. It's happened to me a couple times, so it's like a built-in habit now. Anywho, what you'll notice is that there is an image here, and I don't have a placeholder for images because there's a couple ways you can do images in LearnDash. So let's go ahead and talk about that for a second. You'll find images throughout the whole thing. So the first thing I want to do is I want to right-click it. Oh, it's not going to let me do it, is it? wonder if I can. Basically, you want this image. Let's see if image options works. No. You want this image saved on your computer. And I know there's a way to do it. So we might have to come back to that in a second. Yeah, let's just come back to that in a second. Let's just focus on the text for now. Okay, the next piece is the tabs. And every single page that you have will have a template like this that'll have 4 different tabs on it. But sometimes you only need 3 of them. Sometimes you'll need all 4, so I'll show you how to get rid of them if you don't need them. Let's start by first editing, which it says on here to do, editing this number. So we are on 6.1.1. And so we want to place this and this with 6.1.1. So you want to sort of hover over here and you want to do the section and the little pencil. And it's as easy as that. And you just replace it with a 6 and a 1. And save. X out of that and you'll see that it's saved for you. The other place you need to change it is right here, but that's actually part of the text box. So you're going to hover until this green box comes up, click on the pencil, and you want to change it here as well. And I don't know why that says 3, so I'm just going to change that to 1, 6.1.1. And what is my title? So I'm going to come back over here, I'm going to copy my title. And if you do it on the front end like this, you'll want to do Command-Shift-V, and it comes in just fine with no formatting. Okay, so now I've got my number in there and my title. Now I need to pull the text into this area. And what you'll notice is I have an example of what the next heading needs to look like. So if you've got multiple parts involved with this, if you've got a 4-number section involved with this, then you'll want to use this type of heading. To copy that heading, just go to the back end and you will see it right here. It starts with H3 and ends with H3. So you can just copy that and then replace the text with whatever text needs to go with your second heading. So I'm going to come back to the visual because it's pretty easy to just pull the text in. In this particular section, he says that the section covers the following elements, which we have discussed earlier in the course. So there's actually no text in this part. So I'm just going to real quick copy that, throw it in, and then we're going to move to the next section. Since that heading is there, just to make sure I'm getting it all, which I wasn't, I'm going to go to the back end, and I'm just going to paste that in. And as far as visuals go, that looks kind of clunky, so what you could do is add some bullets, but first you have to put a space here, sorry. And there it is. And in order to get the next bullet down, you just click enter when you click next to it. And there you have it. So that one's done. I'm going to save it, and ritualistically I'm going to come up here and I'm going to update, just so I don't lose my work. The next one's going to be a better example of what you're going to see most often. So we're going to come back over here to the second tab, click Section Edit, and now we're at 6.1.2. So we got 6.1.2, save, X, okay? Go in here, and we do 6.1.2, and then the title, which I'm going to fly over here and pull it. I'm going to copy that bad boy. Come over here, Command-Shift-V. And then my intro text here is this. It's telling me that we've already covered these two, so I'm going to throw that text in here, right where this material is. And I'm going to do again Command-Shift-V, so it takes out all of the stuff for me. And since I bulleted in the first one, I'm going to make a space and then bullet here as well, so these two. He does this a lot. And now this is my 4-digit number that I have. So this is the title that I want. I'm going to copy that. And then I'm going to come over here and go to the text portion, go all the way to the bottom, and I'm just going to replace this title with my title. I'm going to double check it in my visual to make sure it looks good, and it does. And then I'm going to come and I'm going to pull the text. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do Command-Shift-V. Click Save. X out, update. And there you have it. So most sections are going to have more than one of these. This is just one that only had one. It's pretty self-explanatory. All of them are built this way. All 6 through 6.6 are built this way. It should be relatively easy. I have them all marked so you know exactly where it goes. So it's just a matter of pulling over the content and then formatting it the way that you think looks best. And then the last thing we need to do is talk about pictures. I think what we're going to have to do, and let me test it to see if it works, is actually just download this as a Word document. This is the downside of using a Google Doc, is that the images you can't just save as image. So we're going to come over here. Let me open that up. I'm going to bump past that first section and get to where we just were, and there it is. So there's my image that I wanted. So now I'm going to save as picture. Yeah, you can save it as whatever you want because you're about to pull it directly in. Sometimes there's actually a title, so I would just use the title name. I'm just going to call it 6.1 because that's the section that it's in. I'm going to kick mine to the desktop so that I can easily delete it later. I would recommend you doing that too so you know exactly where it's saved so you can get rid of it. So now we're going to come back over to our course now that we have that saved on our computer, and we want it to go underneath this text. Since it's pretty big and we know it's going to pretty much be under this text, all you really need to do is hover over this until that little plus sign pops up. Click on that plus sign and then click on single image. There's a lot of stuff to choose from, but you actually don't need to do much with it except 2 things. You want to go click on that little plus sign. Let me show you where that was. Sorry. Image, plus sign. Go to upload files, select files. I go to my desktop, 6.1, pull it in. It takes a second to load. Click set image. And there it is. So you see it pop up. The second thing you need to do is make sure that this says, I think large. I don't know why I'm on caps lock. There we go. And then just X out of this after you save it and see what it looks like. And I actually don't see the image, so that's weird. Maybe I didn't click save and wait long enough, I don't know. So my image is still there. Click on it again. Okay. I'm going to type full, see if I did something wrong. There, I see it popped up behind here, so I think we're good. Okay, and then I'm going to click update. And there we have it. So we're done with 6.1.1, 6.1.2. We've put our image in and we've put the content in. There may be some occasions where the image is a little bit smaller and you feel like, oh man, I could put that image to the right of the text. I don't know, honestly, if any of these are small enough to do that in. But if you do, just let me know and I can kind of show you how to do that. It's pretty simple, but from what I recall, there's not really one that would work that way. So the process that I just went through is probably what you guys would do. Okay, so that's it for 6. While you're doing this one, I'll be working on chapter 3. And then it'll be a race to the end. Whoever happens to finish first, it'll probably be you guys because I got to switch over to the videos whenever we get the cancer videos in. But yeah, it'll be a race to the finish. We'll see who wants to do chapter 5. I think that's about it for this. And yeah, y'all have a great weekend.